Hello marketers, PPC strategists, and creatives, and welcome back to 2 Minute Marketing. Today we have Patrick McCaffrey with us. He's Evolve's head data scientist, Python expert, and business intelligence genius. Patrick, thanks man for taking the time out of your schedule to join us today.
Yeah, no problem.
So we're going to jump right in. With the ever-increasing changes going on in the digital marketing landscape, data science has become more valuable than oil. It's literally proven. Data has become humanity's greatest resource. However, the life of a data scientist is difficult, and I think you can kind of speak from firsthand experience of the struggles that many of you guys face in modern marketing. Mm-hmm. Your job has kind of become two parts. You need to excel at the skills that allow you to find actionable data, but not only that, you have to convert those metrics into really actionable insights for executives and upper-level management. So how can today's data scientist in your shoes master these two worlds, kind of inside the boardroom and the world of IT?
You want to kind of dive in and understand your data, especially if you're coming from like an industry that you're not familiar with. One of the main things is to definitely dig in and figure out what's going on and understand what it is, and what you have to have a goal in mind as well. So, especially when you're trying to convince someone who doesn't really understand some of the words that you're coming out of your mouth, the biggest thing is definitely get those visualizations that show what those insights that you're trying to tell from this data. And that's where we start. Honestly, it's just data visualization and kind of like an exploration of what is going on with this data. And then from there, you can create a hypothesis and kind of test those theories out to find those insights within the data. Another big part is like being transparent with your data. It's like thinking about it like, not every piece of data that you get or obtain is going to show you exactly what you want.
Yeah.
You can create revenue or ROI not just by increasing revenue, but also eliminating waste. And that's a big part, that you can be very creative with data. It doesn't have to just always be like, what are your, the best performing products can we push there? You might have already maxed out in that area. You can also look at the flip side to increase ROI.
That's awesome. And we're seeing numerous integrated data platforms emerge that can really effectively connect data from several different locations and kind of have it arrive in a variety of formats, both in batches and in real time. So this comprehensive reach really means more useful assumptions and insights for guys like you. So how would you suggest that these data scientists, what's the most efficient manner to acquire this customer data insights, and what should they see as valuable information?
Totally. So especially when I first started out, I think one of my pitfalls was going right to the keyboard and starting to, I guess, not even code, but just going at it without really stepping back away from the data and thinking about it, at a higher level. I would say sit back, write out what is the data, where is it coming from? Is it from a CSV? Is it from the client? Can you obtain it through an API that you might need to use Python or another programming language to obtain, or is it in a database? There are different pieces of it. Is there one that's in a CSV and another one in a database? Are you able to join those together, or should they be, used separately? So really, go to a whiteboard, piece of paper, anything, and kind of just map out what it is with that goal in mind that I said in the first segment, and try and see if you can. You won't get all the way there, but you could definitely give yourself a good head start. And after that, everything kind of comes together when you get to your computer and start actually diving into the data.
So there is almost this is kind of a last minute question and assumption. So there'd be kind of a creative aspect towards defining your data.
Totally. Oh yeah. I think that's what sets people apart. In the long run, I do competitions online, and not the people who are the best at, Python or R or a certain part are not always winning. The people who are winning are coming up with that creative way. Are they making a new feature from your data set? Combining column A with column D in a certain way that nobody else thought of, and that is the real key answer.
Okay.
So, to really find those insights it's really go in with a fresh mind. Sometimes it's good to know the data. If you are know sports and you dive into sports, that's good. but also somebody without that knowledge might come in and see something that you might not see possibly. Yeah, different angle. So really, take your time with it. Test until it works.
Another kind of last minute, question to throw in there would be: is it difficult to kind of come at data from an unbiased opinion?
Yeah, no, totally. I think as when I go in there, or anybody, like, that is a very difficult thing, because you always want. That's why I try to say have this goal and goal in mind, because you can have your data. I think Bill Gates has said it, that you can have data speak to any agenda that you want.
Yeah.
And that is where you can get into big trouble, because that's just making assumptions, and that's how, I guess, advertising and marketing used to be. How we all kind of think of it as just like a gut feeling.
Yeah.
And it's still the same way. The hard part too is if you have a manager, a higher level person that has that agenda, and they're not going to want your data unless you prove what their idea was. And the big thing is that's why you have to be very important with this and make those visualizations to show that, and you have to be very transparent to show that, yes, this is what your idea, and it sounds perfect. It sounds like that's what's going on, but here's why not, and here's another suggestion that we can go in a different route.
Okay.
And honestly, I think that's one of the biggest problems in this industry.
That is all absolutely incredible information, Patrick. Thanks so much for your time, and thank all you for watching 2 Minute Marketing. Write us your questions, comments. Let us know if you enjoyed the video. If so, share it. Be sure to watch next week's, where we sit down with a member of our SEO team and we'll diss out some juicy SEO pain points and how a data-first strategy transformed them into success. Thank you.
Thanks.